What is going on, my fellow WWE fans? It is Hollywood Steve, and I'm back with another review. Make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button, guys. Really helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to leave you guys comments in the comment section down below, all about what you thought of All In Texas. All right, let's get into it, guys. So the first match of the night was Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders, and Gabe Kidd of the Bullet Club War Dogs from New Japan Pro Wrestling, taking on Samoa Joe, Will Hobbs, and Koshihiro Shibata for the AEW World Championships. In this case, you guys aren't familiar, Samoa Joe, Will Hobbs, and Koshihiro Shibata are known as the Ops. So those three are the AEW World Tag Team Champions right now. So this was our first match of the night. And let's just kind of get right into it. So at the opening of the match, all six men battled on the floor. Shibata and Gabe Kidd finally started out the match in the ring, and both traded chops back and forth. Shibata hit Kidd with a right. Shibata made the tag to Samoa Joe, and Kidd made the tag to Yuta. And Gabe Kidd was playing some mind games. Started playing little mind games with Samoa Joe. After he dominated Yuta, Joe made the tag to Hobbs, and Hobbs put Yuta in an inverted suplex, and then made a tag to Shibata. And in the corner of the Ops, Yuta got laid in with chop after chop. Shibata got the tag, and Claudio got the tag in. Got the tag in as well, and both traded European uppercuts. Claudio trash talked Shibata a little bit, as this is Claudio's character now. He does a lot more trash talking, but I kind of like it. I like this version of Claudio. So they trade chops back and forth. Shibata, like I said, Shibata got the tag to Samoa Joe, and then Joe was laying into Claudio Castagnoli. Gabe Kidd jumped onto the apron, did some trash talking to Joe, and as he's known for in New Japan as part of a part of the War Dogs, he does a lot of trash talking. Kidd caused the distraction, and Claudio tossed Joe outside the ring, and Yuta and Kidd double teamed Joe. Kidd then got the tag and went to work on Samoa Joe in the corner and got out of the ring. And Yuta continued the onslaught on Joe. Yuta got the tag to Claudio and controlled the match and Samoa Joe until Joe hit a rolling battle kick and a rolling senton, which was beautifully done, by the way. Beautifully done. Joe finally got the tag. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Joe got the final tag. Finally, Joe got out of the ring, and then he got the final tag in and dominated until Claudio hit Hobbs with a pop-up uppercut for a 2 count. Then Castagnoli and Yuta went for a Doomsday Device, and Hobbs reversed it in mid-air. The man reversed a Doomsday Device in mid-air and hit some sort of inverted suplex. It was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty, guys. So he got a 2 count out of that. Then Hobbs and Claudio went to the outside, and Castagnoli hit Hobbs with a swing right into the barricade. And then Shibata got in. Shibata was in control until Yuta hit a German suplex for a 2 count. Then Gabe Kidd got the tag and ate a fist from Shibata, and Shibata got the tag from Joe, and the Ops routine with Joe hitting a muscle buster. And post match though, this is where this is typical Ops, typical of the Ops. They post match, so post-match, Gabe Kidd and the Death Riders attacked Samoa Joe by putting the chair, and then they Pillmanized his neck, and with Claudio hitting a stomp on the chair while the chair's over Joe's neck, and then causing Joe to leave via a stretcher. So Joe was stretchered out. So Joe was out of commission for the night. Then we got the Casino Gauntlet match featuring Mark Briscoe, MJF, who started the match, who started out 1 and 2. MJF and Mark Briscoe went back and forth. Ricochet entered at number 3. Ricochet and MJF teamed up against Mark Briscoe. Next, we got Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito at number 4, and he showed off his power with a one-handed power slam. Holy cow! A one-handed power slam. I guess go back and watch this. This was amazing, guys. Amazing. Go back and watch it. And then, so Bandito comes in at number 4, hits a one-handed power slam. MJF capitalizes for a 2. Ricochet and Bandito battle to the outside. They've got some history history now. And then we got Kinosuke Takeshita in at number 5. Takeshita hit a Blue Thunder Bomb on Ricochet. Hit Ricochet with a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2. MJF made his way back in the ring and hit a power bomb for a 2 count. And as MJF was playing to the crowd, Mystico entered at number 6. Okay, now I'm gonna park here for just a hot minute. Okay, I'm gonna park here for just a hot minute, guys. Now, I don't know Mystico's song, and I don't think that anybody in the arena in the stadium at Globe Life Field knew the song either, and that's what they were kind of waiting. I think that's what Mystico was trying to do, was trying to get everybody to sing his song, and it just wasn't working, wasn't catching. So anyway, him and MJF have got some history. So and the crowd, they love Mystico. Even the US crowd loves Mystico. And Mystico makes his way out. I mean, this went on for a good 2 minutes. This went on for at least a good 2 minutes of Mystico trying to get everybody to sing his song. Then he and MJF went at it. Mystico sent MJF to the outside, but as Mystico was celebrating, Kinosuke Takeshita made his way back into the ring, but Briscoe sensed it and hit Takeshita with an arm bar, with an arm drag, and stopped an attack from Bandito, and then he hit a dive off the top rope to the outside on the other competitors. Mystico grabbed MJF back in the ring, threw MJF back in the ring, and put him in a front arm bar or as MJF calls it, the salt of the earth. And then Mark Briscoe made his way back into the ring, and he put MJF in another armbar as well. So poor MJF is in two arm bars here. He's got both his arms, and it's like, is he going to give up? Is he going to give up? We don't know. Then Takeshita rolled back into the ring and broke it up. MJF rolled out of the ring, leaving Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, and Mystico in the ring. And the clock counted down, and we got Josh Alexander, the walking weapon mate, who made his way down at number 7. He nailed Briscoe with a German suplex and a fallaway German, and then hit a fallaway German on Ricochet. Then Alexander and Takeshita, they're part of the Don Callis family. They put their focus on Bandito, and Takeshita hit a flying over the top rope dive to Bandito as the Don Callis family were in control. Then at number 8 it was Anthony Bowens, who went right after Josh Alexander, and he looked really impressive. Bowens took out Ricochet, and then it was he and Mark Briscoe one-on-one until Alexander and Takeshita broke it up. Bowens taunted Alexander and Takeshita took him out. Ricochet made his way back into the ring and into the match, and hit both Takeshita and Alexander with a series of roundhouse pump kicks. And the last pump kick sent Kinosuke Takeshita into the corner, but Ricochet got met with a pump kick as well off the second rope from Takeshita. And as Ricochet was going for what looked like to be a pile driver kick, Alexander caught him on the shoulders, and Takeshita jumped off the middle rope as Alexander threw Ricochet toward Takeshita, and he got nailed with a jumping knee from Kinosuke Takeshita, but kicked out at 2. Then we got the number 9 entrant into the Casino Gauntlet match, and it was Roderick Strong of Paragon. And he came into the match hitting backbreaker after backbreaker, as he's called the Messiah of the Backbreaker. That's his nickname. That's what they call him. So then after that, after Ricochet hit backbreaker after backbreaker, I lost my spot, guys. Hold on. My apologies. So Ricochet hit backbreaker after backbreaker on, and Takeshita gained control of Roderick Strong and sending him to the outside, and the clock ticked down again, and Brody King was the next entrant into the gauntlet. And he just came in and showed off his power and strength and went nuts. Ricochet came back into the match and hit Bandito with a jumping knee, sending him out of the ring. Brody King then hit a side slam on Ricochet. MJF finally made his way back into the match and attempted a roll-up by grabbing the trunks of Brody King, but only got a 2 count. Then as MJF was gloating, as he always does, Brody King tossed him onto the apron and put him in a sleeper. MJF raked the eyes of Brody King. Brody hit 4 cannonballs, and the 4th one was on MJF in the corner, and he got a 2 count out of that. Ricochet broke up the pin attempt by Brody King. Then Ricochet went down on the mat. Then Ricochet got taken down. Bandito hit a frog splash on Brody, and Bandito did a little dancing. But Ricochet took everybody out and was left by himself in the ring when the next person to enter the gauntlet was none other than, we got the return of Rock Hard Juice Robinson, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Juice is back. Yes, the Juice is loose once again. But I want to say, I don't like the look. I don't like the look of Juice Robinson. I don't like the clean shaven black black singlet, black pants, black boots, black trunks, black boots. I don't. That's not Juice. Juice is known for the beard, the long hair, just being crazy, right? Well, this is a more, I guess you could say, this is a more reserved looking Juice. I didn't really care for it, but I didn't like the new look of Juice Robinson. But anyway, um, so Rock Hard Juice Robinson makes his return after being injured last year in the Continental Classic. Um, so he came in firing on all cylinders and hit Ricochet with a bop and a bang. But the Gates of Agony made their presence felt as they attacked Juice and the rest of the field. And Ricochet hit a shooting star press for a 2 count as the Gates of Agony were focused on helping Ricochet. Colton and Austin Gunn made their return and came down the ramp with the chair in hand, and the Gates of Agony and went right after them. MJF broke up the pin as the Guns and Gates of Agony continued to fight. And next to enter the gauntlet was Kota Ibushi. Yes, Kota Ibushi, the former tag team partner of Kenny Omega, formerly the Golden Lovers in New Japan, as they were called. So Ibushi enters. So Ibushi enters and he hits everybody with roundhouse kicks. Ibushi dominated all the other competitors in this match big time. Then next we had the Beast Mortos, and he laid Ibushi out with a massive headbutt. He came in fresh and took control. Then Brody King and Mortos went at it, and Mortos hit Brody with a spear and took out everyone in the match. Then Mystico hit a Frankensteiner. Ricochet was looking for Vertigo. Bandito hit the X-Knee on Ricochet after a double suplex by Takeshita. There we go. I'll get it. After hitting a double suplex by Takeshita, Roderick Strong made the save, but Josh Alexander made his presence known and got a 2 count on Brody King as the match continued. Roderick Strong hit the end of Heartache Backbreaker on Ibushi for a 2, but MJF broke it up and got a roll and rolled up Strong for the win. And MJF snuck back in the ring and stole the win from Mark Briscoe after he hit the J Driller on Roderick Strong. And that was the match, guys. That was the Casino Gauntlet. Total of 15 guys. 15 guys in the ring. No. It was a good match. It was a good match. It was really good. It was really good. A lot of high powered, high flying stuff. It was good. It's AEW's version of the Royal Rumble. I think is good. And by the way, guys, this was the first pay-per-view that I watched on Prime by AEW, and I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed. It was awesome, guys. It was absolutely awesome. All right, so next up we had Stokely Hathaway backstage saying that FTR will be helping to commentate the AEW tag team match between the Hurt Syndicate and Christian Cage and the Ring of Honor World Champion Nick Wayne. And then we got a video package of Adam Cole having to recently vacate the TNT Championship, which he was forced to do after suffering injuries from Kyle Fletcher on Thursday night at Collision. And I looked up to find out what and why Adam Cole had to vacate the title. Um, so Adam Cole came out and addressed his future, and he was very emotional about his injuries, which caused him to, like I said, to have to vacate his championship. So what had happened was Kyle Fletcher went for a power bomb on the ring apron, but while both men were outside the ring, Kyle Fletcher botched the move, causing Cole's head to hit the ring apron and then the floor, which caused his concussion. I go back and watch it. It's cringeworthy. It's just, ooh, you just see the landing, and it's not a good landing. So as he's obviously dealing with concussion related issues. So then Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong joined Adam Cole in the ring. They hugged, and they all three walked back as Paragon's was making its way back up the ramp. Daniel Garcia was making his way to the ring. He embraced Adam Cole along with Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, who was going to be on commentary as well. And all four competitors were and to start out, all four competitors were in the middle of the ring as Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara were both in figure fours. And they both got reversed. Sammy hit a Spanish fly off the apron. Garcia looked to hit the Super 3 Amigos, but was stopped by Fletcher. Garcia hit a double suplex on Guevara and Fletcher. Daniel Garcia was in control then, and Dustin Rhodes hit the Crossroads. Then Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes all hit the unnatural kick to Kyle Fletcher. And if you guys remember this was a move from WWE when Dustin Rhodes was Gold Dust, and he would drape the guy's legs over the apron, and he'd kick him in between the legs. And so Kyle Fletcher got hit with the unnatural kick multiple times, which sent him rolling to the outside as the match continued. Sammy hit the frog splash and hit the GTS and the frog splash, but he only got a 2 count. Got a 2 count with that. And then him and Dustin exchanged words, and everybody was like, "Ooh, is there tension between these two?" No, they're fine. They're fine. Dustin Rhodes is saying that this may be his only chance to win the TNT Championship since he's been wrestling for 30-some years. I mean, Dustin Rhodes has been doing it for a long time. A long time. So after Sammy and Dustin are exchanging words, Kyle Fletcher recovers and delivers a power bomb to Sammy and Daniel Garcia on the outside. Fletcher gets back in the ring and delivers a high boot to Dustin, and then sends him into the corner and delivers a second high boot. As Fletcher was lining up for a brain buster on Rhodes, Sammy recovered and hit a cutter on Fletcher. Garcia delivered a pile driver. Dustin Rhodes got the roll up out of a sharpshooter and picks up the win. And for the first time, Dustin Rhodes is TNT champion. And after the match, the Von Erich sons and Cody Rhodes and his nephews joined him in the ring to help him celebrate. And Sammy Guevara, his tag team partner in Ring of Honor, as they're the Ring of Honor tag team champions, and they're also the Ring of Honor trios champions. They all celebrated with Dustin in the ring. It was a really nice moment. And Dustin obviously was overcome with emotion, as it was well deserved, and Dustin, this is the first AEW title for Dustin Rhodes, and I'm very happy for him. Very, very happy for him. Next up, we had the tag team match between Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay, with the stipulation. Okay, here was the stipulation. So, if the Young Bucks won, Swerve and Ospreay cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for an entire year. But if the Young Bucks lose, they have to give up their EVP status. So there was some heavy stipulations going into this match. So as the match, we get the entrance. We get everybody's entrances. And I gotta say, Swerve's or not Swerve's. Ospreay's entrance, awesome. As you guys, if you guys are familiar with New Japan, you're familiar with Will Ospreay's nickname. He is the Aerial Assassin. And Assassin's Creed has a new game coming out for the PS5 called Assassin's Creed Shadows. And so they did this whole Assassin's Creed Shadows thing before his music hit. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was super cool. And yeah, I mean, at the beginning it was awesome, and then we had the wife of the late Bray Wyatt, JoJo Offerman. She sang "Swerve to the Ring" with his old song. I'm drawing a blank on the song, guys, but it was the one that he used when he was on the Independence. JoJo sang him out to the ring, and then his new music hit, which I love his new music, but his old song is cool too. That was the first time I heard it. It was cool. It was cool. Then the Young Bucks came out, and they came out looking like they were dressed like George Washington, one of our founding fathers, as they say they are the founding fathers of AEW, and so they came out in a ship, in a boat, looking like they were, crossing the Delaware. And so as they're making their way to the ring, they go off the stage, and they go around go down through alongside of the entranceway, and they come back and this is where they have the boat, and Justin Roberts makes this long special introduction, and after about 5-8 minutes, we finally get the match. Going. Ospreay and Nicholas Jackson started it off. Nicholas got the tag to his brother Matthew, and the Young Bucks, they show off their high flying team skills, hitting a Northern Lights suplex. Swerve and Strickland took to the outside to get on the same page, and it paid off here. Ospreay hit a sky twister off the. Ospreay hit what is called a sky twister off the back of Swerve, and got a 2 count out of that. Ospreay went for the Os Cutter, but it was countered by the Young Bucks. As the Young Bucks were looking to hit the T King driver or the TK driver, Swerve went for a moonsault, but landed on his feet, and he was met here with double super kicks, and the Bucks took control of the match. Ospreay stomped right to the gut of Matthew Jackson, and he picked up the offense here and got the tag to Swerve. He delivered a couple of kicks and hit a power slam and a side slam to each of the Bucks. And Nick got a 2 count on Strickland, and Ospreay hit some great double team moves here. Swerve and Ospreay hit dual sky twisters, and Swerve got the 2.5 on Nick, but it did not take long for the Young Bucks to regain control here. The Bucks continued. Then they got hit dual Canadian destroyers. Hello. That was awesome. Will and Swerve hit dueling styles clashes and got a 2 count. Swerve delivered a super swerve stomp with the help of Ospreay. The action spilled to the outside. Nick threw Swerve onto the stairs. Prince Nana got involved, but he ate a super kick. Then the Bucks hit the TK driver on Swerve on the outside. Then they hit Bang for Your Buck to Swerve in the middle of the ring, but only got a 2 count. The Bucks hit the EVP trigger for a 2 after a second attempt. The first attempt, Ospreay and Swerve broke it up. But there was a little miscommunication as Swerve accidentally got hit with an inverted hidden blade. The Bucks delivered multiple kicks to Ospreay as he was against the ropes. Then Swerve rolled back into the ring and took the rest of the kicks. So Swerve sacrificed himself here for Ospreay. So Swerve gets back in the ring. The Young Bucks went for the EVP trigger again, but it was blocked by Swerve. Will hit the hidden blade. Swerve hits the house call for the win. And there you go. The Young Bucks have lost. They are now no longer the EVPs of AEW. What a match. What a match. This match was amazing. This match was awesome. A lot of high flying action, obviously, that being from the Young Bucks, obviously here, as they are known for their high flying moves. All right, next up we had the Women's Casino Gauntlet match with Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander drawing number 1 and the number 2 spot. Bayne hit a Falcon Arrow right off the bat for a 2 count. And then, sorry guys. Excuse me. So Bayne and Chris Statlander started off by drawing number 1 and number 2. Bayne hit a Falcon Arrow for a 2 count. And then Bayne also hit a Tope Suicido. Bayne went for a face descent, which is her finisher, but Statlander reversed it. And next out came Willow Nightingale. And Nightingale was going for the Dr. Bomb. Bayne broke it up. Next, Ty Mello came out along with Penelope Ford, and she made her presence. And then Harley Cameron made her return. Both her and Anna Jay and Anna Jay and Harley Cameron chased Penelope Ford out of the ring area. Then next we got Tekla, and she came out on fire. Bayne hit the Statlander and Bayne hit the Doomsday Device, and next Julia Hart came out and hit a moonsault on Bayne and Statlander. And next one to come out was Queen Amanita. Queen Amanita. And she hit the Queen's Crown on Tekla, and both traded blows. Next out was Mina Shirakawa. Mina hit a DDT on Bayne. Next out was Athena. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you guys, Athena was formerly Ember Moon in NXT and up on the WWE main roster. So that name sounds familiar to you. She has been ROH Women's World Champion for I don't know how many days, but yeah, she's been ROH Women's Champion for a while. The next up we got Thunder Rosa, and Thunder Rosa came into the ring and went right after Athena. And Queen Amanita came back in, and Statlander took everyone out. Shuri made her way out, making her AEW debut. Next up, we got Alex Windsor. She was out next, and she and Shuri traded blows, and Windsor hit a draping DDT on Shuri. Windsor hit a blue thunder bomb, and the entire rest of the field broke up the pin by Windsor. Bane dropped Statlander face first onto the apron. Then Will hit an apron death. Excuse me. Hit a Death Valley driver on the apron to Athena. Then Statlander hit a powerbomb off the apron onto the rest of the ladies. Mina and Thunder Rosa went back and forth. Then Athena recovered and climbed to the top of the rope, and Athena picked up the win here. She hit her finisher. Next, we got an exciting tag match. It was the Patriarchy versus Jet Speed versus the Hurt Syndicate for the AEW Tag Team titles. So out first came Stokely Hathaway and FTR to join Taz, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone on commentary. And I thought this was cool. West Side Gun and Smoke DZA sang out the Hurt Syndicate, sang their entrance theme. So they sang them out to the ring, which I thought was really cool. I'd never heard that song sung in person, so I thought that was really cool to have the band that wrote it. Next out was Jet Speed, the team of Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. And last we got Nick Wayne, the ROH Television Champion, and Christian Cage. So, next, after everybody made their entrances, the Hurt Syndicate just absolutely dominated this match. They absolutely dominated this match, as you would expect. Mike Bailey hits a tope suicida to take out the Patriarchy, and Jet Speed took control of the match. Lashley absolutely just threw Kevin Hart over the top rope, and Shelton Benjamin brought the steel stairs over, and Benjamin drops Knight face first onto the stairs as Shelton Benjamin takes out Kevin Knight. Christian Cage takes control. Knight recovers. Until Knight hit a drop kick on Cage and Wayne, and the Hurt Syndicate began to dominate yet again. Kevin Knight got hit with a dragon suplex by Nick Wayne. Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight delivered some high-powered offense. Then Bobby Lashley and Christian Cage were outside the ring, and Lashley threw Cage right into the laps of FTR, and that got FTR up out of their chairs. But Lashley rolled back into the ring, just nonchalantly. FTR jumped onto the apron to try and interfere and provide a distraction, but Lashley threw Cage into them, knocking them off the apron, and he hit Cage with a spear for the win to retain the tag team titles. Now, post-match, this was, you kind of sensed this coming. At least I did. From what I've watched on YouTube, from the stuff I've seen from Nick Wayne and the rest of the Patriarchy, kind of knew this was coming. FTR and Stokely Hathaway get into the ring. So post-match, they all get in. Post-match, FTR with Stokely Hathaway enter the ring as Christian Cage is still laying on the mat, recovering from the massive spear he just received. Then Kip Sabian comes in with a chair, and it looks like Nick Wayne's going to protect his father, quote unquote father here. Um, but instead, Nick Wayne turns on Cage, hits him with the kill switch, and then to add insult to injury, Mama Wayne delivers a slap to Christian Cage, and Wayne and Sabian's as Wayne and Sabian are setting Christian up for a concerto, Adam Copeland's music hits, and he comes running down with Spike in hand and spears Sabian out of his boots. Cope stares at Spike and Cage. He throws Spike down. Spike, if you guys don't know, Spike is this, I guess you call it a bat. It's a paddle-looking thing that has spikes. Spikes about like that on the end of it, and it just digs into somebody's back. So he throws Spike down, and he gets on the microphone and looks at Christian Cage, and he says, instead of dropping the F-bomb on him, he says, "Go find yourself." And Cage grabs Spike and uses it to help himself up, and so that is where we leave that. So I think we are going to get Christian Cage and Adam Copeland teaming up for the very first time in AEW. Teaming up one more time before I think they both hang it up, which will be awesome. All right, then we got the first of the three main events. Main event 1 was Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. And as match on, Toni got Moné in a sleeper. Now I got to say something about Toni Storm's entrance. It was awesome. It was awesome. Toni Storm's entrance was absolutely amazing. And Mercedes entrance was really cool too. As I said, this is AEW's WrestleMania, so they go all out. I thought it was awesome. All right, so to start out the match, Toni got Moné in a sleeper. She breaks out of it. Moné got Storm in an ankle lock. Then they traded punches back and forth, and Toni delivered a headbutt, sending both ladies to the mat. And this is probably where Toni busted her nose, broke her nose. And this match just continued back and forth and back and forth. And it looked after hitting and like I just said, after delivering a headbutt, Toni Storm bloodied her nose. Look like she broke her nose. But Moné hit the moneymaker, but Toni Storm kicked out, and Mercedes could not believe it. Mercedes hit the moneymaker. Or no, she hit the moneymaker and Storm kicked out, but then she hit a backstabber, and she rolls into what was formerly the bank statement. Toni hit 3 Storm zeros, and Moné kicks out of all 3 of them. Moné went into this what she calls this, formerly the bank statements, called the statement maker. After Storm kicks out of that predicament, Toni hit a hip attack in the corner, hit a super Storm Zero, and Toni Storm retains the AEW Women's Championship in a brutal match. This match was awesome. I love this match. This match was really good. Okay, match number 2. Okay. I'm going to preface this with two of the greatest wrestlers in all of New Japan, Kazuchika Okada, Kenny Omega. They have had 4 previous matches that were 5-star. 5-star matches. Now, obviously, this was nothing like their New Japan matches because obviously both are older, and Kenny, I mean, basically died from having diverticulitis and had to have 2 feet of his intestines removed. So, I mean, that's gonna alter how you wrestle. So, before the match, we got an awesome video package for Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada, and this was a winner take all, as Kenny Omega is the Continental Champion and Okada is the International Champion. This was to determine who was going to be the undisputed International Champion. So, here we go. And before the match, we got the introduction of JR, good old JR, Jim Ross, who successfully battled cancer, and I thought this was really cool. I mean, congratulations to JR. That's awesome. Congratulations on him for beating cancer, and that's awesome. I love hearing that. And then we had Jason Charles Miller singing Kenny Omega to the ring. Now, I myself, I've heard his song, I've heard his battle cry theme. That one, I love. That one is awesome. I love the battle cry theme. I wish he had done that one, but I digress. So after Jason Charles Miller sings Kenny Omega to the ring, he's accompanied to the ring by Kota Ibushi, and Okada comes out with Don Callis. Okada focuses on Omega's abdomen, obviously, and Kenny throws a fist of his own to the midsection of Okada. Okada gets hit with a drop kick. Kenny got hit with a drop kick from Okada, sending him over the top. And as Kenny was outside, Don Callis got in a series of cheap shots and hit Kenny, and then Okada hit Kenny with a DDT on the Spanish announce desk. Kota Ibushi was on the outside, just cheering Kenny on. He didn't get involved in the match, but as both got back into the ring, Okada hit Omega with another DDT. Okada delivered a kitchen sink knee for a 2 count. Omega hit a missile dropkick for a 2 count on Okada. Okada kept clutching his elbow and forearm, so he must have done something, but it didn't really play much more of a factor into the match. So Omega just laid in palm strike after palm strike to the back of Okada's head and hits a suplex for a 2. Omega went for the V-trigger. Okada scouted it. Okada went for the Rainmaker. Omega scouted it as well. Omega hit the Dragon Suplex for a 2. Okada then hits a series of drop kicks, and then Okada and Kenny. Okada had Kenny in set for a gut wrench suplex, but was attempting a gut buster, and Okada drove the abdomen of Omega into his shoulder. Okada hits another elbow drop. Then Okada fakes the Rainmaker and drives his knee right into the gut of Kenny. So this is a more ruthless Okada than we've seen in the past. This Okada is this version of Kazuchika Okada is much more ruthless than we've seen. So Okada fakes a Rainmaker and drives his knee right into the gut of Kenny Omega. And Okada plays to the crowd. Okada gets taken down by a knee from Omega and then a power bomb, followed by a V trigger for a 2. Omega hits a second V trigger and then a third V trigger in the corner. Omega had Okada on the second rope, hit a German suplex off the top rope, dropping Okada. As Okada was going down, Okada turned, and so he hits face for hits like sideways, which is a weird way to land. Omega gets a 2 count out of that. Omega hit another V trigger, and as Omega went for the one-winged angel, it was count. Okada counters. Omega he hit Omega with a tombstone pile driver and then a Rainmaker, but only gets a 2 count. He hits another Rainmaker for a 2 count. Omega rolled over for a 2. Then we get Rocky Romero from the Don Callis family running down, and he gets on the apron, but Kota Ibushi pulls him off and throws him into the barricade, and that was really the most physical that Kota Ibushi got. And as Kenny was going to knock Callis off, Okada nails Omega, but Omega counters the attack with a one-winged angel, but as the referee Don Remsburg's hand was going down for the possible 3 count, Don Callis pulls the referee out of the ring and for good measure lays in a couple kicks to Remsburg. Ibushi came over to check on Remsburg, and then we had another and then he runs after Don Callis, chasing him out of the arena. Omega kicks out of the Rainmaker. We get another referee, and Omega kicks out of the Rainmaker. After Okada countered the one-winged angel, but Okada hits a Rainmaker and picks up the win, and becomes the AEW Unified International Champion. And then we probably got the best match of the night. Jon Moxley, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, versus Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match. Now, I normally have not seen a lot of these Texas death matches, but holy crap. This match was awesome. This match was right from Jump Street. So next we had Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page for Jon Moxley's AEW World Championship in a Texas death match. And to start out, Hangman pulls a fork out of his pocket, drives the fork into Moxley's forehead, and we've got blood already. Jon Moxley grabs a piece of barbed wire and rakes it across Hangman's forehead. And then as Hangman goes over to the ropes, Marina Shafir bites the forehead, opening the wound even more. And Moxley stands on the back of Hangman as he still had the barbed wire wrapped around his forehead, when Moxley rolls out of the ring and grabs a steel chair wrapped in barbed wire. I mean, these guys were not messing around. And Moxley gets back in the ring. He drove the barbed wire covered steel chair right into the gut of Adam Page. Then Moxley power slams Page onto the steel chair. Hangman sidesteps the steel chair in the corner, but as Hangman went to hit Moxley with the steel chair, Moxley kicked the chair right into the face of Hangman Adam Page. Then Moxley and Marina Shafir set up a table on the outside. Hangman then gets Moxley in the corner, bites his forehead, a little payback. But Moxley hits a cutter. Then he went to the outside and grabs a bucket of broken glass that was under the ring from Marina Shafir and proceeds to stomp the glass to break it up even more. And he took a handful of it and just rubs it into the face of Hangman. Excuse me, sorry guys. But Hangman blocks a pile driver onto the glass. But Moxley reverses the blocked pile driver and grabbed the back of Hangman and drove him and delivered a pile driver head first to Hangman Page right on the top of the broken glass. Shifty introduces 2 more chairs into the ring, and Moxley takes a seat and has some fun. Moxley again uses a handful of his hand wraps his hand in barbed wire and rakes the back of Hangman. He Hangman powerbomb Moxley through the chair, but Page batters Moxley with a piece of barbed wire wrapped around his arm. Then we start getting the run-ins. We get Wheeler Yuta. He hit Hangman in the back with a steel chair, but he got hit with the barbed wire, taking him out. Hangman hit the Angel's Wing on Moxley. Hangman goes for the buckshot lariat, but Marina Shafir jumped onto his back. She gets driven through the table with a Death Valley driver. Hangman drove Moxley into the chair, then he hits a deadeye onto the glass. Then Claudio Castagnoli made his way in and just threw forearm shot after forearm shot to the head of Hangman Adam Page. As Page rolled out of the ring, Wheeler Yuta delivered a few kicks to the side of Page. Then Yuta and Castagnoli set up a table. Will Ospreay made his way out to make the save. Gabe Kidd showed up and delivered a pile driver to Ospreay on the floor. Then Claudio Castagnoli grabs a chair, draped and puts Ospreay's head through the chair. They're gonna Pillmanize the neck of Ospreay here. And Claudio stomps the chair. They Pillmanize the neck of Ospreay. He gets taken out in a stretcher. Moxley gets Hangman in a rear naked choke. Moxley delivers a vertical suplex through 2 barbed wire tables. I mean, this match was brutal, man. This match was, whew. So after getting driven through the barbed wire tables, Moxley hits a Gotch style pile driver. Then he went into a bulldog choke, and Moxley thinks he has the match won. And so he goes over to Marina Shafir. So Moxley thinks he's won. He's going to be able to keep the AEW title in the briefcase. But Page. Page beats the 10 count, and Mox delivered a pile driver onto a chair. Page beats the 10 count again, and then we get Darby Allin on the screen. We get Darby Allin on the screen after he's on Mount Everest, and I forget what he says. But the lights go out. After that, it's not Darby Allin that returns. Making his return was Bryan Danielson. He runs off the Death Riders. Page then hits a buckshot lariat, 2 buckshot lariats, while Danielson while Danielson chased off the rest of the Death Riders, Hangman hits a dead eye through the table on the outside. The Bucks show up and deliver an EVP trigger. Moxley and Shafir pull out a bed of nails from under the ring. This is where it got really nasty, really brutal. Moxley hits a stomp on Page after Page and Shafir bring the bed of nails into the ring. Moxley hits a stomp on Page on the bed of nails face first. Then he hits a paradigm shift onto the bed of nails. Moxley then tells Marina Shafir to go get the briefcase because he's going to let Hangman have one final look at the AEW World Championship before Moxley finishes him off, because he's never going to get a look at the title. So as Marina Shafir is going to grab the title, Prince Nana is there, sneaking up from behind, and Nana has handcuffed her to the ring, I guess you call it ring area, timekeeper's area. And Swerve shows up and in his hand he's got Hangman's chain. He knocks out the Young Bucks. Swerve throws in the chain to Hangman Page, who's in the ring. Hangman wraps the chain around his hand and hits Moxley with the buckshot lariat onto the bed of nails. And then he wraps the chain around the throat of Moxley, drapes him over the ropes, and this is a callback to how Hangman had beat Moxley before in their previous Texas Death match, where he draped him over the top rope and he choked him out with the chain. That's exactly what he did here. He choked him out. Moxley taps out. Hangman Adam Page is your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And obviously he is overcome with emotion because he has been on this journey. Hangman has been on this journey. And it finally culminates here, winning the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And he opens it. He's overcome with emotion. He clutches it and holds it up. And this was awesome. It was a bloody battle. It was awesome. The Texas Death Match lived up to its name. And this was AEW's, as I have in my notes here, AEW had their own version of the Avengers ending. They again took a page out of WWE's book, where Cody beats Roman at WrestleMania 40. But you know what? That is quite all right, because this match ruled. I am telling you, this match was awesome. If you guys have not watched this, go back and watch AEW All In Texas. Go back and watch it, guys. Overall, this was an awesome pay-per-view. I loved it. I'm gonna give it 5. I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm gonna give it 5. 5 thumbs up, guys. 5 thumbs up. Absolutely 5 thumbs up. I will catch you guys in the next one. This is Hollywood Steve. Remember, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, when you're Hollywood Steve, it's for life.